It has been a jam-packed, news-filled week in regard to Metal Gear Solid Delta. I've taken the time to compile all of the most important news, and I also want your opinions on a bit of speculation that I've had on my mind. More on that toward the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. There's a ton to get into, so let's jump right into it. Let's first take a look at a few details you might have missed from the newest Delta trailer. As always, the link to the trailer will be in the description box below. Since I'm sure you've all watched the trailer a million times by now like I have, I'm only going to go over the few things that I found interesting. Firstly, it seems as if larger weapon types like the sniper rifle and the RPG will now display on Snake when he has them equipped. The first example of this can be seen during the portion of the trailer in which Snake is traversing across the support beams on the rooftop found within Razvet. You can then see him with the RPG on his back before he fires at the helicopter in the mountaintops. While it's nothing major, it is a cool little addition in my opinion. Next up, you can see just a small glimpse of Major Ocelot in the cutscene where Snake is taking out the Ocelot unit after meeting up with Sokolov. You can see him in this frame right here. You can also see just a tiny peek at Sokolov's shiny bald head here. Perhaps the most interesting part of this trailer to me is this shot of Snake firing the Mosin Nagant at the Ocelot unit. Apart from getting our first look at what seems to be Moss camo, you'll notice that over-the-shoulder firing is now available to weapons that were strictly bound to first-person view in the original game. Weapons such as the SVD, the RPG, and of course the Mosin Nagant. Even more interesting than that is the actual scenario being played out in this shot. For those who do not know, there is a method to take out the end early on in the game. By doing so, his boss fight is replaced with an encounter that challenges you to sneak past members of the Ocelot unit. That's not the interesting part though. What's curious is the fact that the Mosin Nagant Snake is using is picked up after fighting the end and beating him non-lethally. This is the only way to acquire this weapon, and it must be reacquired every single playthrough. Since the player in this trailer already has the Mosin Nagant equipped and is using it during what is supposed to be the end boss fight, could this then imply that a form of New Game Plus will be available to us? There technically already was New Game Plus in the original Metal Gear Solid 3 for camos and weapons such as the Single Action Army and the Patriot. However, other weapons like the Mosin had to be reacquired each time. Only time will tell how expansive New Game Plus will be this time around. Overall, I thought the trailer was an excellent showing of what Konami is bringing to the table. Sadly, we did not get a release date announcement of any kind. And if you happen to see the rumor going around that GameStop leaked the release date, that has sadly been debunked. Someone at GameStop messed up and used the release date for the original Metal Gear Solid 3. GameStop admitted the mistake shortly after. Now, if you want to see a comparison between the original Metal Gear Solid 3 and Delta, I took the time to make a video comparing the original MGS3 to the recently released Delta trailer. It took a while to make since I went back and recreated all of the gameplay sections shown in the trailer as well. I'll have that linked at the end of this video. Now, onto the official website, which has a few more interesting tidbits. Konami expands a bit more on newly added and revamped systems found within Delta, such as the battle damage system. In Delta, whenever Snake takes damage of any kind, the battle scars will remain with him the entire playthrough even after healing. David Hayter, the voice of Snake, goes into a bit more detail in the second part of Konami's Metal Gear Legacy video series, describing this revamped battle damage system as a way to make sure every player's journey through Snake Eater is unique. Definitely check out the entire video with David Hayter, it'll be linked below. You can see an example of Snake with battle damage in the new trailer during the clip of him firing away with the M63 machine gun. Back over on the website, you'll notice that a couple of gameplay videos have also been posted. These are to show off the two different control scheme layouts that will be available within Delta. Konami is electing to call the more modern control layout the new style or third-person view layout. While exact details on this layout were not given, I think it's safe to assume that this layout will play very similarly to Metal Gear Solid 5. The back triggers to aim and shoot, D-pad directions for item and weapon swapping, all of that good stuff. The second layout, dubbed as the Legacy style or overhead view, is the original fixed camera perspective and controller layout from the original game. This is intended to be used by those who grew up with the series or are familiar with the classic Metal Gear layout. There is also an added bonus to using this Legacy style. It has now been confirmed by Noriaki Okamura, who is seemingly the face of Metal Gear at Konami now, that the Legacy style also adds a filter to Delta that makes it more closely resemble the original game. There was a bit of controversy surrounding the new trailer, as it seems some fans do not like the more realistic approach to the color grading and artistic direction in Delta and prefer the yellowish hue and bloom of the original game. During the Xbox podcast, Okamura confirms that using the legacy layout will make the game look more like Snake Eater, and it definitely does if you compare the two gameplay clips found on the website. Still, I do hope the option to enable the filter is made accessible to those using the new style layout as well. Quick update from the future. As I was putting the final touches together for this video, Eurogamer posted an article in which they reached out to Konami for clarification about the filter. It has now been officially confirmed by Konami that the filter can be applied while using either control scheme. So if you planned on playing with the modern controls, but were worried you couldn't apply the filter, you don't have to worry anymore. A massive thank you to Eurogamer for clarifying with Konami and posting an article, and also for featuring me in said article as well. Alright, back to the video. The Xbox podcast didn't have any major news really, but it's a short interview and worth the watch if you want to hear more about Konami's intentions with Delta and Metal Gear overall. Okamura also apologized on behalf of Konami for the state of the Master Collection Volume 1 at launch, and assured everyone that they still intend on updating the collection and making it the definitive version of these games. He also reiterated that the current team working on Metal Gear are passionate about keeping the series alive, and they want to be held accountable and hear from fans about what they would like in the future. It's nice to see some transparency from their end for sure. Next up, we have some images showing off what the Deluxe Edition and Collector's Edition of Delta will include. The Deluxe version seems like it will be available in Europe, while the Collector's Edition is a North American exclusive. Keep in mind, this is all subject to change. The Deluxe Edition comes with a special box for the game, a steel case with the original Shinkawa artwork and the Fox logo on the back, a Fox logo iron-on patch, and an exclamation point pin. The Collector's Edition includes the Day 1 Tactical Edition of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, a miniature terrarium based on the iconic opening scene of the Virtuous mission, a recreation of the fake identification badge Snake uses, a high-quality stitch patch showing membership to the Fox unit, a unique rubber patch commemorating Naked Snake's historic Halo parachute jump, and a beautiful retro-style metal game case utilizing original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater artwork. The retail release, or Day 1 version, is included in both of these special editions, and it's named the Tactical Edition. It contains Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the full game, plus additional unique digital items that will be announced at a later date. As of the making of this video, the Collector's Edition was available on Amazon and Best Buy, but it is currently sold out. Sadly, I missed out due to making that comparison video, but hopefully Konami keeps making more. Keep an eye out on the listings to make sure you're able to purchase one should you choose to. Now, remember how I said I had some speculation going on after all the news we received? Well, this line about the unique digital items that you get from buying Metal Gear Solid Delta Day 1 is what got me thinking. If you go back to the official site, you'll see that they're describing this content as a sneaking DLC pack code. Now, that might just be some cosmetic item pack for the single player game, but as the die-hard Metal Gear Online fan that I am hoping this is instead cosmetics for a new Metal Gear Online. Now, for those of you ready to mash the word cope on your keyboard, hear me out for just 1 second. The second Metal Gear Legacy video featuring David Hayter used a very interesting choice of background music. I'll play it for you now. Just make sure to listen carefully to the music.
Overhauled look. Delta is built in Unreal Engine 5 to achieve an unbelievable level of detail.
Sound familiar? That specific track is from Metal Gear Online 1. Now, this could just boil down to whomever was in charge of making this video going through the entire Metal Gear Solid 3 OST and liking this track and the mood it creates. After all, it is a banger. But as someone who edits videos, a lot of the time, music is picked intentionally and with a purpose. Combine this with the fact that when Metal Gear Solid Delta was first revealed, IGN Japan interviewed someone at Konami and asked about a possible multiplayer mode. All that the Konami representative said was, "Please wait for future announcements." This obviously isn't an outright confirmation, but they also didn't say something along the lines of, "No, sorry, we're focusing on single-player experiences." Finally, there is also more early purchaser bonuses that haven't been revealed yet, as you can see on the official website. If this was just some exclusive camouflage pattern or something similar to the DLC you get for Silent Hill 2's remake, Why all the secrecy? There's also the fact that back when Metal Gear Solid 4 released, pre-ordering it granted you access to Metal Gear Online 2's beta. Maybe this mysterious future DLC announcement is a Metal Gear Online beta access code? Could the reason for not wanting to explain what these DLC items are be the fact that they're all tied to a new MGO? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think there's another reason they don't want to reveal this DLC to us? And how excited would you be for a new Metal Gear Online? That's all the news and speculation I have for you today. I hope I did a good job going over everything important quickly, and please remember to check out that comparison video I made and leave a like for me if you could. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.